There we go.
There it is.
I'll get it
I,
one of
I'm
these days. Go ahead and
I'm
start,
Zoe
Sally.
needs,
pushing it.
Zoe needs to push it also.
Push it.
I don't know
Push it
where I
real
went.
good.
Yeah, just like
Hey,
salt and pepper. Oh wait,
hey. Wow, we are off to a great start.
most
Hey,
of our
welcome to the
viewers don't even know
WKN
who salt and
podcast,
pepper
where
is.
we have been stupid busy and Dustin, right.
Right.
We're
Just don't
not
even
doing
look at the
that.
calendar because it's exhausting.
It's extremely exhausting. Holy crap. It is Tuesday and not our normal Monday, and it is 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock.
8:08.
8:08 p.m.
Yes.
Not like the bass drum, but just like the regular clock time.
Hmm. Right.
And
Okay.
David will probably understand that reference and no one else, but it's fine.
It's okay. We never understand any of your references, Dustin, so it's okay.
I know. I
Did
shouldn't even
we?
be here. Brandon
it's
was supposed to
it's,
sub
it's
in for me, but then he went home, so
Yes. And we're
it's
missing
fine.
Stacy because she has to work late again. She worked late yesterday. She has to work late today and to go in, I think, early tomorrow.
Well, just to mention it, if you made enough money where she didn't have to work, then she wouldn't have that job anyway. So,
good job, Thomas.
way to go, Thomas.
I'm working now.
But you don't make enough money, so you need to make more.
Well, I don't make
Two or three
enough
times as much.
to
Two or
cover
three times
us
as much to be
cover
perfect.
her
Yes.
paycheck and my new one,
If you could just ask the
but
Army for
my
like
new
a
one will
three times
cover
your current
hers.
salary raise, then that'll be perfect.
I
So
wish I could.
let's say you make 10
Hold
bucks
on.
an hour now.
Take my shirt off.
Right.
You just say, look, I need 30 bucks an hour or I quit. And then the Army's like, okay, we'll give you 30 bucks an hour to do the same thing you've been doing. And then you're good.
I
You
don't
never
think it
know till
works
you
that way.
ask.
Yeah, see how that negotiation works.
Yeah, let's just see how it goes.
Well, if it was a GS position, it'd be a little different, but since it's contract, it's pretty much
No.
Yeah, then they're like, no, you can leave. It's fine. We'll
no.
find somebody to
Right.
do it cheaper.
No, it's a set pay, but yeah, you don't want to go in doing that. No, because they can pretty
And
much let you go for almost anything. So, but with what I'm making, actually, Stacy with her 1% raise that she got, she's making like a couple of pennies more an hour than I'm making at this job. So
hmm,
theoretically, she could.
Don't tell her that she will be out tonight.
I
She
don't,
could, and you guys
especially
will be exactly where you were like a
Stacy's
month
not
ago.
allowed to listen to this podcast.
no,
Thomas is
no,
going to
she's
edit
not.
this out.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
you edit this part out. It's fine.
You can see as soon as he said it, he was like, "Suck that back in."
Stacy,
Deep parts, deep parts, deep
bleep it
parts.
out. Cannot make it tonight. Just say cannot make
Yes.
it tonight, and then
And
you
and
can cut
every
back
other
in right
weekend
here.
she can't make it.
Oh, it's funny.
Love you,
What are you
sweetie.
gonna do?
Speaking of weekends,
Oh my
our
gosh.
weekends are so busy.
It was another crazy busy weekend as always. Well,
Yeah,
we kind of
we
weren't
had
well with
the Go Topless.
with Go Topless. Voodoo had decided not to do the competition piece, but just do
Yeah.
a small get together.
Well, first it was canceled altogether, and
Well,
then
Because
it
of the
was
like
rain,
2 days
discussion that they were going to
because of the
cancel it,
weather,
right,
and
because of
and
weather.
then
then we're
uncanceled
like,
because it was
okay, so we're
beautiful.
not going to that anymore. And then it's like, okay, now it's uncanceled again.
Because it's going to
I'm
be
like,
beautiful, and it
oh,
was
And it was
beautiful.
amazing.
it was very nice. Yeah,
I actually got cold, but that's
you're always cold.
They're weird, but
I'm
we had a
surprised
really great turnout.
I'm surprised you don't have long sleeves on right now.
well, I was in the garage working, so it was warm in there. So
Yeah,
give it a little bit, and I'm going to be freezing here
it's
shortly.
hot as crap outside.
It feels well. It's
Yes,
windy and rainy right now.
it's the humidity that's gonna get you.
It doesn't bother
Anyway,
me one bit.
so it was
Oh yeah,
great. We
back
had a
on
great
track.
big turnout. Yeah, a big turnout.
Yes.
We got 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes and 32 seconds. Calm it down.
All
Oh my gosh,
So
right, sorry.
yeah,
it's a short one,
hey,
guys, because we
we
got
are
so much going
tired.
on.
Yes. So we had a great turnout, and they ended up doing again where nothing costs anything, which is something that we've kind of toyed with and they've toyed with, and so they had a great turnout, and then people did lots of raffle tickets and um stuff like that was
Yeah,
pretty
it
cool.
was.
And then some people that
Yep.
maybe normally wouldn't have paid to get on a flex ramp or test out their systems,
Well,
got to do it for free and kind of see where they're at. And I think it was good.
yeah, it was a good turnout. Stacy was saying that there were people that had left the club years ago actually came back and showed up for the event.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Nice.
people that there were new people that were showing up that from
Hmm.
other clubs that
Yeah. It was a
that
great
wouldn't
event.
have otherwise shown up because
Yeah.
there was no registration fee. It was more of just, hey, let's relax, let's hang
Show
out.
up and hang
We've
Right.
got
out.
all
Yep.
this stuff planned. So if you want to donate some money, you can. If you don't, no big deal. It was
Okay.
all
Yeah.
basically
Don't.
donation based. They did a 50-50. They did some raffles.
Mm.
Hmm.
And yeah, it turned out to be a really great day
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Saturday. It was really nice. And with all the shade trees at there at Mike Lenning's, they got a ton of trees. So it
Yeah.
Hmm.
definitely helped keep things cool because the sun was shining, it was bright, no rain in sight at all.
Yeah. It was nice.
It was
And
really
then
good.
Sunday was nice too. It was hotter, I feel like, and no
Well, it
It
was
shade
was.
hotter
trees.
due to the
Well,
fact that there's
there
no shade
wasn't as much
trees.
shade. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was a
we had
great
a
turnout at the
shade.
Provide your
VetBuilt
own shade there.
Garage
Yeah, we had a shade
Car and Jeep show.
canopy,
Yes. I'm glad y'all
thankfully.
brought your canopy because my canopy is,
It's crapped out.
well, it's definitely served its lifespan and then some.
Yeah.
Um, and it's time to get a new one.
Also,
Yeah.
you text me before the event, but I didn't see it till in the middle of the event. And then
Yes,
you
you
said,
texted me back and said,
did you bring your canopy?" And you were standing under our canopy, and I said, "Yes, I brought our canopy."
yes.
And then you
Idiot.
turned around
He
and
does
you're
that to
like,
me all the time. He does
"I
that to
do."
me all the time. Like he won't check his
She'll text
phone
me
and
like,
shoot.
"Hey, I'm on the way home. Like, do you want like, do you need anything? And then
She's already home.
she's already home, sitting on the couch, and like, "Oh wait, she texted
No,
me. Yeah, no, I don't need anything. Thanks.
I'm good.
I'm good."
Or yeah, could you pick me this
Yeah,
up?
you're right.
I'd
Actually,
probably throw him down the stairs.
now that you mention it,
Yeah. Yeah, we need toilet paper.
right.
Yeah, you
But
just got
yeah,
to use your
so
hand.
That comes from
it was,
Amazon. It's fine.
but it was cool because Art let us use his ramp at that one, so we got to test out all our stuff on a 20% incline
20
ramp.
degree.
20
20
degree.
degree, yeah.
Yep.
And that was nice. And I definitely like that ramp even better than our ramp because my
Because,
number went way up.
well, of course, yeah, 20 degrees is you're going to score higher than a 25 or a 30 degree
Yeah. So I scored
because
really
the
good. So I was
distance
excited.
is going to be shorter.
Yeah.
But
You have to show a picture. I got over 1,000 guys finally. I was very
We
excited.
can also maybe on our new ramp make it an 89 degree, and then you would score like a 4. Like 4 is the score to beat, guys. Like, right your Chiefs out. Let's go.
It's great. Yeah.
Also,
So
Mike Ledford is going to get us an awesome discount on some steel to build our new ramp.
yeah, thanks, Mike. We're really gonna appreciate that. Because we definitely need a bigger one. We need,
Yeah.
especially now that we've used ours, we're like, yeah, this will no longer do.
well, for us anyway, we pretty much drive off of it
Over the top of it, yeah.
for
Yeah.
the most part.
Like we reached the limit on ours. But yeah, I was surprised because I didn't know we were pulling the trigger on the new ramp like
Oh.
immediately. And then Mike was like, "We can get this for this." And I was like, "Okay, I think we'll need this many." And he's like, "All right, it's ordered. Let's go." And I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, okay. I guess we're doing it. Let's go."
Just let me know what I need to pay and
Yeah, just do it, and then we'll just,
will they take credit card? Will they
hopefully, because
Yeah, hopefully.
hopefully they will.
Mm.
Let us know, Mike, in the comments if they take credit card or not. Because if not,
Or,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know what we're doing. We might have to get jobs, but it's fine.
It'll be fine.
OnlyFans, here we come. For real.
Right?
We keep saying it, but we ain't got one.
We ain't doing
No.
it.
We're not
I am
doing
wearing a very seductive shirt. See
Yeah,
all my holes?
it's got a bunch of holes in it.
Oh my
From
gosh.
her,
Yeah.
Sylvia,
from
why does
her.
it have holes? Do you have moths flying around?
Yeah, they're
Right on
called
your hood?
welding. I somehow have put a whole bunch of holes
Somehow.
in my shirt from welding. which it makes sense because I hold like this. So I guess it flies underneath my armpit. I don't really know, but
Well,
I'd be
It
really
flies
you know
all
what
mad.
those
over.
you know what those holes are called, right? They're called speed
Welding
holes.
holes,
Speed
speed.
holes. So the
Speed
Well, they're
wind, when you're
holes.
horrible.
running and driving really
Hmm.
fast
I
through the
mean,
trails, it blows
like
through. So
there's
yeah,
the look, there's like
It's
a
more
lap.
aerodynamic now.
yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely cannot. I have to wear this with a bra because
There,
it'd be
there you
it'd
go.
be naughty.
There's our
It'd be
Patreon.
naughty.
Or you
There's our
don't,
Patreon after hours.
and then we can pay for the flex brand.
Yes.
Just saying.
So we need to get Stacy one also.
The things we
Exactly.
do for you people to bring you the fun stuff and the ramp.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The new ramps can be
Yeah.
really cool though.
It
Oh,
is.
but
So,
at the speaking of the VetBuilt, let's back on track.
oh,
Back on track.
Yeah, mine I think I left mine downstairs. Mine's downstairs. Yeah.
rude.
So
But it
I
looks like
know,
that
right?
one.
But it looks,
Yeah,
yeah,
looks
it's
like
basically
this
that
one.
one. Yeah, Sylvia and I both got what was it, top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I
That's
was
pretty
not
cool.
even paying attention. I didn't know we were winning anything.
Neither one of us were
Yeah,
paying
and then
attention.
Amy's like, "Aren't you 36?" And I'm like,
Maybe.
"Yeah, I
I
am."
guess so.
Yeah.
And then
I
when they
was like,
called my
"Oh
number,
my
I
gosh."
wasn't paying attention either. And
I
so
know.
I
And
was
I was
like,
like, "I knew you were 37 because I was 36." I'm
I
like,
was
"Oh
like, oh
wait,
my
that's
gosh.
Thomas."
Yeah.
I was so exhausted. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you
I
and me
was
both,
dead.
dude.
It was, well,
I'm
my
still
dumb butt
exhausted.
I was
decided
dead when I
after,
got there,
yeah,
but it was worth it.
it
It was a
was.
good time.
But my dumb butt decided to, hey, let me go ahead and get my fenders mounted on Saturday after I got home from the Voodoo event, and I think it was just after 5 o'clock when I got home. And then it was roughly about between 5:30 and 6 when I started on them, putting on my Next Venture Motorsport front fender flares.
Which look really good.
Aluminium.
Yes, they're aluminum. They're really nice, but the instructions are amazing because you got to watch a video that they have because they don't actually have written out instructions because these fenders aren't relatively that old. They're pretty new still, so they haven't
Yeah.
quite put together actual instructions. And
Oh, what you
so
should have done, Thomas, was an instructional video that we could put on our YouTube channel.
we can still do
And
that.
then they could have used that on theirs to know where their stuff goes.
We can still
We're
do
gonna
that.
add that to the
But in
list.
order for me to have them on for Friday or for Sunday for the vet built,
Right.
um, I did not have time to do that because of the 4 brackets I had to cut off, the 6 holes I had to drill. I did burn up 2 or 3 drill bits, and about seven
Really?
o'clock, yes, I burned up.
No,
They were
yeah,
they were
he was telling me that yesterday.
they were titanium, but they were cheap bits. And
Ah,
you have to drill the hole up to what's a it their numbers are odd. So a 25-30 second hole exact.
wow. That's very
And I
specific.
had a 25/64th, yes, 25/64th drill bit. So I had to
That was
wallow it out just a little bit. It was a little bit smaller.
yeah, a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to wallow it out a little bit
Like
and
30 seconds smaller than what it needed to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I ended up after drilling 2 holes and then went on the third one and it wasn't drilling. And then I looked at the bit and it's purple.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
So then
hot.
this is about 7 o'clock and Stacy comes out and says, "Do I need to go get you anything?" I was
drill
like,
bits, please.
"Yes, drill bits. And I need this size." She's looking on at several different places to try and find them. She's like, "Yeah, I can't find them."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh well." But she ended up finding them at Menards. So she
Oh,
ran to
nice.
Menards to grab those and she grabbed me a couple of more cutoff wheels for my grinder because I misplaced the ones I'd bought months ago in my well organized garage.
Benchmark abrasives. We're not sponsored by them, but they have
Could
awesome
be.
deals on flap wheels and cutoff wheels
Oh, nice.
because you can order them in bulk, like
That's what we do.
25 packs, I think, and they're much cheaper than ordering or just buying them, one at a time
Okay.
from wherever. So
Yeah.
Yep.
If
Well,
anybody has a hookup, if anybody,
Benchmarkabrasives.com.
yeah, if
Yep.
anybody has any hookups, knows anybody from them, tell them to call
Yeah.
us.
Hit us up.
We use a
yeah.
lot of their things.
Well,
Use.
long story short, Dominic ended up coming over probably about 8 to help me. Stacey's like, "Do you need Dominic to come?" I was like, "Yes, please. Have him come." But I got everything cleaned up, buttoned up. I didn't put all the bolts in it, though I just put enough in there to help secure it, keep it secured so I could drive.
Right.
Um, and it was midnight when I was getting into the shower. So it was probably after 12:30, and then before I finally actually got laid down, so closer to 1 before I fell asleep, and then getting up at
Yeah.
7 o'clock to head to VetBuilt. So
I was gonna
that's
say
why
we
I
had to
was
be
so
there
freaking
by
tired.
like 9, right?
Yeah.
You knew Thomas was tired because the only thing he brought that day was one pen, one paper, and a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I had that was because of Saturday. It was still in the Jeep. I
Yeah.
never took it out.
My Jeep was completely full. I have no doors, no top. Dustin's holding trophies and stuff so it wouldn't fly out
Dude,
my
we
side.
went around the hospital curve on I-65 and the t-shirts almost flew out. I had to reach around the back like this to hold the t-shirts, and then the trophy fell over. So I had to reach around like this. I was driving to Arts, both hands behind the seat, holding stuff. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why did you decide to take the doors off to go to this competition and pack
I
your
didn't want to put my
crap
doors
full of
back
stuff?
on.
But it's
So
fine.
funny.
We
It's
made
all
it.
good. Yes, we
We
made
made
it.
It
it.
was
We
As
were
soon
fine.
able
as I
to.
got, well, yeah, we made it.
Yep.
Everything survived. We got everything put together, set up.
They had a great
Um,
turnout too. There were
they
so
did.
many people.
Yeah, there was a
It was
lot.
good.
They did.
'Cause they
So
had
it was a
muscle
lot of fun.
cars
We're
and
ready. I
Jeeps
can't wait for
and
next
all
year's.
kinds of other stuff there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it wasn't just Jeeps. They also did
it
they
wasn't just
had
Jeeps. It was
cars, trucks.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Everything.
it was really awesome. It
yep.
was a
Yeah, it
great
was
job.
great.
Yeah, Art, Vet Build Garage, y'all did amazing.
Yeah,
Really
we're
good.
proud of you.
Really good job
And we're yeah, definitely honored to be part of it. So
for
For
sure.
sure.
that's awesome.
And then
I can think of what else.
yesterday.
And you
Oh
came
my
to our, yeah,
goodness.
yesterday was supposed to be podcast day, but Stacy had to work. So we were
Yep.
moved it to today, but then Stacy
Ended up
got
having to
screwed
work.
and
Also had to
work
work
anyway.
again.
But I
But
talked to Scotty. I talked to Scotty Saturday or Sunday and said, "Hey, because of Moto Built and Next Venture, they don't line up very well. I have
mhm,
Moto Built inner fenders and Next Venture highline fenders. Well, the way the metal bracket is on the for the fenders, the way everything pinches together, the Moto Built top of the inner fender doesn't match up right. So
Well, that's because they want you to use your stuff. So if you buy Motobuilt inner fenders, they want you to use the Motobuilt
right, and same thing with Next
fenders.
Venture.
Same thing with Next Venture,
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah. So,
I
but
liked
you
the way
already
Moto
had the
Built's
Motobuilt fenders,
yeah, and I like the
right?
way Moto Built's fenders are, and
Yep.
they're about two little over $200 cheaper than Next Ventures.
Yes. But they're not
Um,
as wide, and they don't have the
no,
light.
no.
They don't have the LED built in. So
Well, yeah, for the fenders, but the
for the
inner
fender, for
fenders,
the inners, right? Yeah.
but yeah,
Okay.
even the actual fenders are about Moto Builts are probably a couple $100 cheaper than Next Ventures.
I
But
think
they're
they're
not
only
aluminum.
they're and
They're
they're only
steel.
2-inch flares instead of I think yours are what 3.5
Three.
or something.
They're yeah, I think right at three. Oh, Sylvia.
Yep.
I'm
Sylvia's
back.
gone,
She's back.
and
I'm
she's
sorry, I got
punchy.
bored.
Right.
Yeah, because we're talking about actual Jeep stuff that people may be interested in. So
Yes.
yes, other
So what I
news.
ended up asking Scotty to do on Sunday is if we could meet up one day this week before we left, so he could cut that bracket on the inner fenders so that they would line up right for the bracket for the Highline Next Venture fender flares. And so he was
Right.
like, "Well, he was working on the YJ, which is at y'all's house, and he was
Yep.
like, "Hey, I'm working on the YJ at Dustin and Sylvia's. If you can meet me there, we can do it." I was like, "Perfect." So as soon as I left work, as soon as I got off work, I headed straight up there, not realizing y'all had a house full when I got there.
We
Because I
always have
figured it
a
was
I
just
house.
gonna be
didn't know
y'all
all those
and
people were
Scotty, and we
showing
were just
up.
gonna knock it out real quick and then be done. And then it's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
I was
Everybody's
still
with
here.
working.
Scotty,
I was still
yeah.
working, and then Jason pulled in our, not Jason,
No, Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Brandon here? And so he's like, well, he was coming to help Scotty. I was like, well, Scotty's not here, and I'm still working. And
Well, I
then,
know,
and
but
then
the
Jason
traffic,
showed
he's on
up.
the other end. He's
Yeah,
on the other end of
he's
town.
on the other end of town.
Okay.
And then
So
Jason pulled in. I was like, wait,
Set it for
Jason's here
10.
too. Yeah. So it was Scotty,
because
Jason,
Weddle
Brandon.
was trading tires with Scotty
Yeah,
for this
little
weekend.
little Weddle was changing his 35s out for Scotty's 33s
Right.
for
So
the
Scotty could have the 35s for
the
this
s'more
weekend.
trip that's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when
And
this airs,
then,
we will be on the
So yeah,
trail
yeah,
or
we would
getting
have been
ready
on
to
the
be on the
trail
trail
while
Thursday.
you're
Yeah.
watching this,
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
you're
We'll be
watching
on.
this, we'll be on the trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Scotty he got my inner fenders trimmed up for me, and then I went ahead and bolted the highline fenders. I got everything bolted down. But yeah, we'll hopefully here in the next week or two, because I still got to do this is something we need to do while we're down there. Maybe even on Friday. Um, we need to do a race to see how fast the Morphlate from setup to tear down, from start to finish, right? We're sitting in the Jeep, pull our hoses out, pull your compressors out, hook everything up, and see how much quicker or slower the ARB uh, compressor is that's mounted inside my Jeep to the external Morphlate. See see what difference. I mean, I don't expect it to be, a couple of minutes, a minute or two, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do know when I had that issue at when we were at Hollerwood,
right.
and when I aired up, Stacy got loaded, we got stuff loaded up. It felt really a lot faster
Yeah.
than pulling
Right.
pulling a compressor out and stuff. So that's something we need to do. Record it, set it
Yeah.
up. We can do that probably on Friday
You
since
know
it's
we're
just gonna
gonna
be
forget,
us.
but we'll try.
So we'll do that and we'll get that posted.
Yeah.
And then and then we'll hopefully in the next week or so we'll do a video on the next venture fenders to show everybody what needs to be done when you go to install those. We can
Yeah.
take one side off and then
Yeah.
show how they bolt up, because they give you a bag full
Yes.
of bolts, they give you a handful of nuts
Like here you
and
go.
nut
Here's a
certs
video.
and a handful of nut certs and go.
Have a
So
good time.
have fun. So I'll show you where I put nut certs, because they don't actually they only explain three bolt holes or three
Right.
holes that you have to drill in the frame in order to mount the steel bracket so that the fender mounts to that steel frame. But they only show you those three holes. But there's a
Yeah.
bunch of other holes
I was
that
gonna say, but
from the body lines and stuff.
there's like 15 bolt holes that
Yes.
have spots where you can put stuff, but they don't include any of that. So we'll try
Right.
to get a
So
video out there
we'll
for
get a
that.
video for that too. So
Yeah.
easy enough.
And then yeah, Dustin cut off more of my bumper because whenever
Yep.
pretty much
We
I
got
have zero bumper and zero skid plate left
we
because
got on the we got on
Dustin
the flex
has to
ramp,
keep cutting.
which is an awesome tool to use
No, we
for
got on our flex ramp backwards. I went up really high
it.
backwards.
Well, either way, it's a
I know,
flex
but
ramp.
we've never done it. We've never checked backwards to see where I hit.
Right, but if you would have went frontwards passenger side up, then it would have been the same.
Okay.
But yeah.
It looked
But yeah,
cooler.
drive shaft, the
We
front
got on
drive
the
shaft
flex
is
ramp.
running into the skid plate.
Yes, the skid plate. We got the mountain off-road. I think it's MOR.
It's more,
E
it's
MORE.
MORE, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Mountain
mountain
Off-Road
off-road. So
Enterprises. Yeah, and so the on the JL at least, it's different than the JT, but hers was
not much
her front,
difference, but
not much, but her front drive shaft was actually still grinding in, so we cut off the side where it like flips up for support, and then it was still rubbing, so we had to actually cut into the bottom about, I would say maybe a quarter inch
yeah.
or so. We had to cut a quarter inch in notch because the drive shaft was still rubbing on it, and then on our front bumpers where it's the stubby front bumper now that we made. but the tire on the at least the driver's side was still rubbing into the uh, the front bumper there, and so we just had to radius that out a little bit more. So I took an extra, maybe quarter, half inch or so farther than the mark that I made at the
He took
show.
a paper
So
plate
I
and drew a
traced,
line and then
no,
cut it.
the paper plate wasn't big enough. So I took the 14-inch
Oh,
cutoff
saw.
wheel,
Okay.
yeah, abrasive disc for the cutoff wheel, and that made a perfect radius for the lines that I had marked on there.
Oh,
So
nice.
I originally, when we were at the show, like I took the paint marker and just traced the tire line, but then I went, like I said, at least probably a half inch farther than that, just to make sure we had room. And then, yeah, just made a little radius, cut it out, and yeah, measured down like I think it was maybe 2 inches from the top of the bumper.
Yeah.
Radius of that with a 14-inch.
Did you
Where
do
it
it on
was,
both sides or just the one
I did
side?
it on both sides.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think the driver's side's rubbing just because of the way the track bar
When it
moves
swings.
the way that swings when it moves the axle. I don't think it's
There
rubbing
was
on that
no way I
side.
was going to let him do one side and not the
Yeah,
other.
and she's like, it's gonna look stupid if you only both
I didn't
sides. So
think
then,
so, but
yeah,
I
but
know with such a
I just went
short,
ahead and did it. Yeah, it was no big
yeah,
deal. Just
yeah,
cut it out and
Spray paint.
flap wheel, flap wheel it and spray paint it, and you're good to go.
yeah, it looked good from what I saw. Um, but yeah, and then today, oil change, check diff fluid, made sure it was all good.
Yeah, Dustin just hit my diff fluid
I
too.
probably need to replace it, but I don't have time for that. Not
Yeah,
today. We'll do
same.
that after we get back.
We
But
haven't
just made
replaced
sure it was
hers.
full, that had enough
Yeah.
fluid in it. Because I know when we did my axle shafts and you did y'all's, uh, did the,
Yep.
Little
what you
spillage,
call
little
it?
break when
Well,
we broke
the
our
front
axle.
axle disconnect when you pull the shaft out, if you don't have it in four-wheel drive, then the collar falls down,
Yeah, so you got
and
to
then
pull the fad plate off.
you can't actually put the axle back in. Really need to engage so it slides that collar over on the inside shaft before you shut it off. But I didn't even think about that when we were pulling hers out.
Well, we didn't do
And
it when we
so,
did mine. So yeah,
right, and then so when you pull, you have to pull the fad assembly, like the controller off, the one that slides the collar back and forth. But you lose quite a bit of diff fluid. Not quite a bit. I mean, just a little diff fluid.
yeah,
I mean, it didn't take much to top it off, but we went ahead and topped it off.
yep. I
Probably
did the
do need to
same.
change it because we didn't. Hers hadn't been changed since we welded the trusses on her
Oh
front
dang.
axle,
Yeah, you probably
and so I
probably
don't
should change
know.
it.
I don't know how long it's been, but probably no more than 10, 15,000 miles, I would guess.
Yeah,
So
mine's been right at a year that we did mine. It
yeah, I
was
mean
around
it's.
May. It was around April, May last year when we did mine. So it's time to change it. So when we get back, I'll change it out.
I will say there was quite a bit of stuff on the magnet when we pulled it out. So I go ahead and just pull the cover and change it out again.
Clean it up real good and change it.
Yep, clean it and
Yeah.
change it and call it good.
And
But
then right before we started the podcast, I hooked up since my dial dynamic switch panel. I got that eight. That's the D switch, the 8 position switch panel.
yep.
I hooked my winch up to it. So now I have a momentary using the switch panel for a winch in and out. So
Awesome.
so we can either use the switch panel, we can use the remote and my phone
Hmm.
because Dow Dynamics their switch
Comes with
panel
an
has an
app.
app to it. Yep.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
I
So you
can
can
use
be
my
out there
phone.
just like while the kids are connecting your stuff in the mud, and you can just be there like on your app. It'll be good.
Yep, you can either use the app or you can use the remote. So if your remote dies or if you don't have your forget your cable, like some people either can't find their cable or
Yeah.
lose it or whatever. But yeah, I have it hooked to the switch panel now. I still got
Yeah.
to hook up a few more things to it because there's some trigger switches that you can hook up. So like if you wanted to do high beams, I can make my I can hook my pod lights to my high beams. So when I hit my high beams, they come on.
Hmm.
Um, but that
Yeah.
and then there's a couple other ignition features and whatnot that I still need to play with and hook up. But other than that, Yeah, we're getting
Nice.
everything together for this weekend's trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. We're
Yep.
going to a lot of people. We have a lot more people coming than we think. So it's going to be a
Probably.
lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, he'll be there
It's
Saturday, and
always like that.
there's like 1,400 people there. Like, okay, so now what are we
Here
gonna
we
Friday's
do?
go.
Friday's going to be fun because it's
Yeah.
just going
Yeah.
to be just a
It's just
handful
gonna
of
be
us.
us. Yeah.
It's going to be us, and then Scotty hopefully will be
Yep.
coming. And
No, Scotty's coming with us Thursday. I just don't know if he's gonna be able
okay,
to
so
leave.
it'll be basically
Yeah.
us and Scotty.
Scotty.
So that's going to be
Us and
interesting.
Scotty. Yeah.
Scotty
So
sandwich. Scotty
Scotty
sandwich.
sandwich,
Yep.
Scotty do sandwich.
And
So we'll
he
put the
just put the
YJ in the
30.
middle.
He just put the 35s on the YJ. Uh,
So
and actually, we had to replace both of his front wheel hub assemblies.
That's what we were doing tonight.
His wheel
yeah,
bearings were shot. We had to do that tonight. He replaced them in January,
yeah.
Yeah, so he's been rough on them a little
and
bit.
they're still like, it's what, May now, so 4 months worth of use probably. He replaced them right before we went to Alabama,
Yeah. Well,
and they're already shot.
But he's
Like,
only wheeled like once a month with
he's
it
only, yeah, I
since
was gonna
then.
say he hasn't wheeled that much with
yeah,
them.
they should have been fine.
They're still
So
shot. So,
yeah. So just
but
getting
we
everything
did.
prepared, ready to go. So we're
We're
looking.
thinking that we maybe didn't torque them down
Ah,
to the proper specs, because it called for 175 foot-pounds on the axle nut
oh
on this
wow.
Dana 30, which seemed like a lot at the time. And
That is a lot considering the
I
Dana
think
44 is 100.
right, and I think we only did 100 or 120 the last time, and so maybe that's why they went bad, prematurely, because there wasn't enough torque on them, which allowed them to have more play. But maybe it's because I don't know.
It's interesting.
Anyway,
So
we looked it up on the manual, like, and it was the Jeep factory specification, 175 foot-pounds on the axle nut, which seemed like a lot. And so we went ahead and did it, but maybe they'll last a little longer this time.
hopefully so. Well, we'll find out this weekend.
I guess so. Yeah.
We'll find
Yep.
out for sure.
I
Me
watched
too.
I watched the video of the two badge trails that are there, and those look pretty fun. One's like a little creek bed thing you drive through. That's pretty good. Little rock climbs in there. There's a bypass route, and then like a harder line that you can take.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah, I figure we'll do those Saturday and Sunday with the big groups.
yeah.
For sure.
That way we
For
get
sure.
their badges while they're there if they want. If it's the
Yep.
same group, obviously we won't do them both days, but if there's different people on Sunday versus Saturday, we can do that.
We could always do that.
Definitely. We can always do them. But yeah, if anybody's out in Missouri and they want to come out to S'more and hang out with us Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah.
Sunday, come on out.
Yep.
Well, we'll already be
We'd
there
love to have
Friday,
ya.
so come on
Yeah.
out Saturday, Sunday when this airs.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, you can meet us after lunch.
We'll be there Thursday night, actually.
yes,
Yeah.
But yeah.
for sure.
So
Well,
All right,
everybody,
well, I guess I'm
y'all
ready
have a
for
great
bed.
day,
Yeah.
great week, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yep.
Later.
all right.
Let you know
See
how
ya.
it goes.